I know my share of MAGA types, of true Trump believers. And they constantly text me or email me or call me and say, I'm wrong to suggest that he isn't the cleverest person who ever lived. I've even had people say he is the smartest leader in the history of the world. That's how deeply their loyalty to Donald Trump goes. But I got one today who sent me some comments by Steve Bannon. Now, Bannon was a White House communications type in Trump's first term, ended up going to jail. He's not my favorite person. He's a little over the top. But Bannon has said, you might think that Trump on tariffs is confused. But really behind all of this is a very clever plan to establish hegemony over the entire northern half of the Western Hemisphere, all of North America. Greenland's part of it. Panama's part of it. If you have control of the canal, you can control where trade goes in North America. If you have control of Greenland, you're right up there with the Russians. You can keep an eye on them. You can put a base up there. Yes, and they also have rare earth minerals. Trust me. Trump's not that smart. Trump is, I think, what he appears to be, which is a mercurial, flighty, impulsive, angry man who simply is looking to be the center of attention at all times and to make people bow down to him. He said of Canada's Pierre Poilievre when he was asked a couple of weeks ago, he said, oh, no, Poilievre's not much better than Trudeau. He's a MAGA. He's not a MAGA guy. He's not a MAGA guy. He didn't show proper respect for me. That's the same sort of thing that he said about Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, when he met with him in the White House in that disastrous meeting a week ago. It's all about you have to show respect to me. They sometimes couch that in the White House as respect to America, but really what they mean is you have to show fealty to Donald Trump. You have to bow down and say, oh, Mr. Trump, President Trump, you are the smartest man in the history of mankind. It's hooey. If you're watching this, you're seeing it after March the 6th. March the 6th was the day on which Trump announced that he was going to exempt Mexico and Canada from tariffs until sometime in April, provided the goods that he was going to tariff were ones that are covered by one of the free trade agreements. If a good is covered by a free trade agreement, he's going to exempt it from tariffs for at least a month. This is, by my count, the 8th time since November, when he was elected last year, that Trump has changed his policy on tariffs. Of course, he says tariff is the most beautiful word in the dictionary. He goes to impose them, and he says, oh, you can have 30 days as long as you get your fentanyl crisis under control and your illegal immigration crisis under control. Well, you know what? The Mexicans proved that he was right, that it really wasn't that big a deal to stop illegal immigration at the U.S. southern border because it's basically stopped. Because the Mexicans sent 10,000 National Guards to the U.S.-Mexico border, and sure enough, there are very few illegals coming because it's 8,000 a month versus over 40,000 a month under Biden. So it can be done. Our fentanyl shipments to the United States are minuscule. They are measured in pounds, not hundreds of pounds, not tons, not megatons. They're measured in a few pounds every year. According to the RCMP, only about 1% of the fentanyl made in Canada makes it into the United States. Most of it, for some reason I don't really fully understand, goes to Australia. So Trump is what he appears to be. He looks for whatever excuse sounds good. He knows that he can play on the low information of the people who are his supporters. And he's just looking to jerk Canada and Mexico around So maybe when he decides to reopen the free trade agreements, he can get a better deal. We'll be so desperate to avoid his punishing tariffs that we'll give him a better deal. But if this is Thursday, there are no tariffs. But how long do you think that's going to last? When he said there would be no tariffs in February until early March, within a week he'd said, oh, no, I didn't mean all of that. Aluminum and steel, they'll have tariffs on them right away. The man is as flaky and impulsive as he appears to be. And it's time for people to stop thinking they can show me some hidden genius that he has. For Post Media, I'm Lorne Gunter.